Hello.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Putting off telling my son's teacher that he's not going to be at his first week of school.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
First of all, we're brand new at the school anyway. And then we started late anyway because PG&E cut the power out. So we didn't get to start till the following week. And now I'm going to be like, hey. And then now that you guys are letting school back in, his first week, he's just not going to be there.
I think that there are going to be a lot of people that had some sort of extra plans because distance learning gave some flexibility that aren't going to be there the first week because there were things that can't be canceled.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to San Francisco at the first week of November. Yeah, because we have that timeshare. So we got 2 rooms. So one room is going to be Michelle and mine's work room, and then the other room.
Thanksgiving off.
What's that?
I thought you took the week. Oh, you're just gonna broadcast from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have a because it's the timeshare. So we have a work apartment and we have a living apartment that we're renting because we haven't used our points. So we're just able to get 2 rooms. And so each room is its own little 1-bedroom apartment with like a little kitchenette. And so on some of the nights we're going to kind of alternate and sort of take like staycation vacations from the family.
From each other?
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah. And so then we'll be in San Francisco. So like San Francisco is one of my favorite cities just to walk around no matter where you are.
Yeah.
So I think we'll have a really good time.
I'm taking my son to Vegas next week to see his dad. And I'm staying with him most of the time, but then I have a hotel for the weekend because his girlfriend's coming in with her kids.
Right.
And our trip was already booked and I couldn't reschedule. And he starts laughing on the phone and I go, what's so funny? He goes, I got to hang up and call my girlfriend and tell her she can't visit me because my ex-wife is going to be here. I can go get a hotel. And he was like, well, there's cheap ones. I go, oh, bro, you're paying for it. So I'll do this for a couple nights by myself, which I'm not mad at. And then the rest of the time I'll be staying with him, which I'm not like, we get along. I'm not trying to bash him or anything, but he and I know, both of us know well enough that like 5 minutes together and we want to rip each other's hair out.
You didn't get divorced because there was a Groupon on divorces.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Because when we were in Disneyland, I even said to his girlfriend, I go, my friends are really surprised that you let us go on this trip. And she was like, oh, you two ain't getting back together. I'm
We're pretty sure this cooked.
No, she says, and I'm like, okay.
Oh my gosh. Real quick, because there's something I want to touch on we were talking about earlier for you. Mm-hmm. But before we get there, tonight, the return, 4th season of Masked Singer.
Oh, right.
Hold on. Also tonight, premiering I Can See Your Voice.
What's I Can See Your Voice?
I Can See Your Voice is a hybrid of Masked Singer. Nobody is masked. Nobody is in any costumes. But it's like 4 people on stage. 3 are lip syncing. And the contestants have to determine through clues and their lip syncing who's actually singing and who's the terrible singer.
Are you going to watch it? Of course you are.
Not only am I going to watch it, but I've turned it into an event for myself tonight.
Have you ever watched somebody who thought they were a good singer and then they ended up being the terrible singer? That's really uncomfortable.
There's somebody who texts me and a mutual friend of mine like twice a week with their pop songs, okay?
Are you sure they're not watching this stream and now you're going to hurt their feelings? Or is this your way of letting them know they're no good? You're going to make me part of them you telling them that they're a terrible singer?
Let me just say, I 1,000,000% appreciate the effort. I just don't feel like right now is the music that's primed for mass radio success, but I'm just saying right now, I'm not saying never.
I can't even look at you. I can't even look at you.
But I also don't want to say never as in that it will never happen, but also they're considerably older than me. And like, I look at myself and I know that I am not going to be playing in the NBA because I'm 42 now. So even if I had a tremendous amount of skills or a really good skill set, I'm past that prime for that particular occupation.
Yeah, I'm past that prime. I will find that skill set. I will find you and I will kill you.
So I don't want to say never.
I know, Paul. It is a hard Paul. There's been twice that I've been faced with people singing that were no good. That you just sit there and be like, "Whoa!" Like I can't say anything to this person because it's totally going to ruin their everything.
Where we're at right now in terms of skill level versus time allotted to get to where they need to be for the next level. Time. So
you're the worst. All right. So
tonight, but also they love themselves enough that I know they're not watching this.
Okay.
Because they're watching one of their videos. All
right, Masked Singer tonight, Ian Riley's favorite show, and they've been masked since before it was cool.
Your cool. Date?
My not date. Okay. So I've been kind of chatting it up with this guy who actually lives up in the hills. And I thought we met on a dating app, and I thought he was funny because he said, chubby, tattooed guy, mountain man, looking for a woman who's not bat crazy and will hold my snacks in her purse. So we match. He super liked me. I know you don't know what that means, but that means that they let you know you like them before you match them.
Okay.
And then, so I write him and I say, how many snacks do I have to carry in my purse for you to overlook the bat crazy part?
Cute.
Cute, right?
Yeah.
So he was like, any amount of snacks. We kind of hit it off. There was a couple things about him that I didn't really like, but everything else was cool. Like he was funny and he was open and he says nice things, like he compliments me all the time. And all of his kids are gluten-free. So he like send me like things that I can eat and stores that I should shop at and restaurants in our area that are really good about being gluten-free and all of these things. And so we were trying to figure out when we can go out, but our schedules, the way they match up, it's pretty difficult with his schedule and my schedule. But we found a date that what are the couple things that I don't like? I'm not going to say his job because his job doesn't bother me. It's the way he speaks of it that bothers me. And I'll get to the next thing in a minute that people are going to think I'm crazy about, but I'll get to it. So we ask each other like what our insecurities are, blah, blah, blah. And I'm honest. Canceling on me is an insecurity. And I was honest about it. I said, I know as a grown-up and a single parent that it happens. So I am working on it. But it comes from a past insecurity of always being second or third best. So I was always the backup plan. Like if you didn't have other plans, I was the one you called. Or if we had plans, you'd cancel on me to go out with the other chick. So it's an insecurity of mine, right? So we make plans. I get a sitter, and that's the other thing. I'm a single mom. If I have to get a sitter, my ex-husband lives out of the state. So I get a sitter. He goes to work. He can't use his phone at work. You know this. Usually you be like, flag, but you know what his job is. You know he can't use his phone at work. So he sends me a text message in the morning and says, I can't use my phone at work. Can't wait to see you this afternoon. Here's my email. I'll check my email later. And I said, okay.
Which by the way is how my wife and I mostly communicated.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. And because we already discussed his job, he worked at a job like your wife. I know for a fact that he cannot use his phone at work. So he gets into work. So I email him around 10-ish because he gets off work at 2. And I'm like, hey, what's the plan for today? Blah, 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 blah. So like at 12:30-ish, I get an email. I am so sorry. I didn't know today was my 16-hour day, and I can't get to a phone to even call you. I know this is your pet peeve, and I'm scared that you're never going to go out with me again, and all of this stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, I'm like, 16-hour day. Like, who has a 16-hour day? But it happens. But second, we have the coolest jobs in the world. If I have a 16-hour day on the 27th, I'm going to remember all month that my 16-hour day is on the 27th. Who forgets that he has a 16-hour day?
Okay.
So I don't, huh?
I said, okay.
Okay.
Like yeah.
I don't back. He leaves me a couple voicemails, a couple text messages, a couple emails, right? So the next day I finally write him and I go, we're fine, but I'm not going to be able to see you until after Vegas. Like, I'm not going to squeeze another day in between now and Vegas. I have plans. Okay, as long as I get to see you. But now he's like overcompensating and he's super mushy. And how are you, princess? And I just want to hear your sweet voice. And hopefully later we can talk so that I can hear your voice. How's my princess Merida? Call me princess? You do not know me at all? And so I think I'm just going to ghost out.
And I think that's a terrible idea right now.
Why?
Because I know exactly what job he does.
Yes.
And I know that my wife also worked at a similar place, and her job was salary. And so at 5 o'clock, she was done. He is hourly, and he makes a really good wage hourly. So if there's overtime, he makes a really good wage. And if there's double overtime, girl, you're on a boat in the summertime.
Yeah, and I'm not mad for overtime. Then tell me, look, overtime.
But that's just it. So a lot of times in those jobs, the overtime isn't necessarily scheduled. And so my guess is he very well may have totally forgot that this particular job had him signed up for a 16-hour work shift, right?
Yeah.
But this is a job where I've got lots of friends that I know personally that will call home like 4 or 5 hours before their shift is over with, hey, I picked up an extra shift. And it's really good money. So my guess is he either A, really did forget, or B, he felt really bad about canceling, but for some reason had a hard time calling you, looking you in the eye and saying, hey, I've got a chance to make like an extra $1,000 tonight or an extra $500 tonight. So I want to go out, but I've got 3 kids, so I'm going to take this opportunity. And I have a feeling that that's what it is, but otherwise, like, he's checked some pretty important boxes for me in that he overcompensated. He recognized, he didn't ghost, he called. If I didn't know as much about his job as I do, I wouldn't necessarily be as lenient. But just because you and I both know what that job is, I'm a little more lenient on that. And the overcompensation lets me know that he recognizes right away.
He usually hates every bit I date. I know.
I think that the fact that he is overcompensating right now has let him know, like, right away he really screwed up, right? And he's also known. But here's the good thing. Like, you set a boundary, okay? Yeah. So like, I'm not coming down on you and saying you're doing the wrong thing. I'm just saying give him a second chance.
I scare easily. Here's what bothers me. Here's what doesn't. And it almost felt like it was a test because it was on our very first date. You know?
Okay, but what if it wasn't? What if you set a boundary? What if you set a boundary and it just so happened that this soon into it, he crossed one of those boundaries and you let him know that's a boundary, and now he's walked that back, right? And so he's like trying, but also in the limited time that you guys have known each other, like, yeah, he should know you, but Princess Merida is pretty benign in terms, like, I think that's a simple, like, yeah, I'm not really into princesses, you know? Like, I'm more of like a babe kind of girl. Like, hey, babe.
Right. And I don't want to tell him that these sweet things that you say to me I don't like, because I don't want him to stop saying nice things to me. But like, good morning, princess.
But maybe that's his default setting. Maybe that my default setting is sweetheart. When I get with somebody, like, I like sweetheart for whatever reason. I think that's because I heard my parents do it. That's my default setting, right? But if Michelle said I hate sweetheart, hun, please just hun. Cool, we're hun now. You know, right. Maybe that's him. And I don't think there's anything wrong with saying we're not going to see each other until after Vegas because I'm busy. But if we're not seeing each other after Vegas because I'm proving a point, that one I would consider and walk back maybe if there's a chance to do it. No. But if you're legit busy, then yeah, absolutely no.
I'm getting new tires today. It's my girlfriend's first day on Saturday. I leave for Vegas on Sunday. Like, I am legit busy. And I told
busy. Yeah.
And that's why when things opened up, I was like, well, I guess I can make it happen, you know, at this time. And I think that's what bothered me the most. But he's like, and he had like the date that he had set up for it was pretty. He's like, show up in your activewear. You look cute in a ball cap. I'm going to take you to the store. We will go shopping for gluten-free food. And then I will cook for you. Like all of the things. And then all of a sudden he's like, can't.
Like, so just an outsider's perspective on this one. You have not dated exclusively. You haven't dated exclusively in a long time, right? Like it's been a long time since you said you're my boyfriend and I'm your girlfriend, right? Because when you date, you let them know like you're not really the only one I'm dating. We're just dating, right? So so this guy, I think this guy is, from what I'm hearing, is potential. Like we're the only ones dating right now, and I think you guys are so new into this. Like I think you could cut the cord, no harm, no foul. Both of you would move on just fine. I think if you gave this one just another couple weeks of investment, just to see if stealing his hoodie is worth it, because eventually maybe it will be in a shared closet, is worth it.
You know, and that's
because also
he was like, I'm hoping there's like, he was like, I'm into you. And I go, well, I don't, you know, I'm very casual. And he's like, what does that mean? Because if we're not, and I'm like, here are my boundaries, bro.
Because the other thing that you touched on too with him was you mentioned when you guys went out, one of the other, because again, where he works, if ever there was a place where there's quote toxic masculinity, right? Like that's it, right? And it sounds like with daughters and being pretty socially aware, that even though maybe politically you guys aren't connecting, he also respects that boundary. Like it sounds like you guys had to talk about that too.
Oh yeah, he made a joke about politics. And we fall on opposite sides of the political spectrum. And I immediately replied, well, you're talking about me. And he's like, oh, I guess that joke didn't go very far. I'm like, no.
Right. So he gets it. He gets it, right? Yeah. I say another chance. Does he fish? Does he fish? Does he fish?
Yeah.
Yeah, give him a second chance.
Yeah, he's a mountain guy. He's been in the same career for a long time. He does well for himself. He has girls. I mean,
does he know construction?
He is very handy. It's one of my very first questions I asked him.
Okay, these are not questions for you. These are questions for me. Because I have a small bathroom that I want to extend, and whoever your next boyfriend is needs to know how to walk me through that, or rather needs to be able to do most of that work.
And that's the thing. I think maybe that's why I'm also trying to push it away, because like this guy's like ready for, you know, that's what he wants. He's been single 7 years.
You know, I don't know how this works as far as you're concerned, because I know you just bought your house in Murphy's. We're not going to get into that like housing market talks right now, but you're in a very desirable area. So if you had to turn around and sell your condo in a couple of years, I think you'd probably come out ahead. So how does that work then? Is it like in your condo, if you meet somebody from that area that also has a home, like when you guys, I know we're future tripping and we're going down like a years from now road, or a year from now road even.
I thought about what I'm going to do with my place, because you can't.
Do you sell it and just move?
No, the price that I got for my condo, it would be dumb to not Airbnb it out.
That's what I was kind of wondering. That seems like a pretty good income property.
I sat with one of my neighbors the other day, and I got a better deal on my condo last month than he got in 2008.
Oh, 2008 was when everybody was buying everything at like triple the price.
We're sitting there having a couple drinks when he's talking me into being on part of the homeowners association. And he goes, just tell me how much you paid for it. And I go, that's none of your business, you know? And he goes, come on, just tell me. I go, do you really want to hear it? So I tell him, and he goes, ugh. I go, you want another drink?
Was he 4?
Huh?
Was he 4?
Uh-huh.
He was 400, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, easy.
My place is yeah, and I when it came open, my sister, like, I've been open about, like, it took me a long time to get my credit and my finances and everything in order. So once I did that, my sister and her husband are very like helpful with like the credit and building her credit score. So she is involved in all of my big purchases. So I called her, and because I don't like confrontation, when she called me back, I didn't even answer the phone. Like, I was like, I'll let her give her opinion on this condo in my voicemail, right? Like, I don't even want to talk to her. And in my voicemail, she was like, buy it now. Like, what are you?
Red team go! Red team go!
In a fantastic area. It's safe. The schools are good. And like, I never could have ever purchased anything like it in this area, in a location, like never, ever. Like this,
you white knuckle that place until the day you die. Do not ever sell it.
As I'm signing the paperwork, is a notary. The notary lady's going, don't ever sell this house. Like, what are you doing? Don't ever. No, it's not. A guy that I knew lived up there. He lived in the same condo next door 10 years ago and paid the same amount of rent that I'm paying for my mortgage. I got a steal.
You really did. No, you don't ever get rid of that.
It popped up. It came up at the right time. And because I got a USDA loan, which was no money down, no down payment assistance. I got a crazy interest rate because the rates are so low. And I got this condo that's, God, it's like 2,200 square feet.
Have you thought about this? You could, not that you would want to, but you could move back in with your folks for like 2 years, just Airbnb that, and then buy a second home.
Yes.
Like, that's awesome.
I absolutely could. Yes, you're right.
That's so rad. That is so rad.
I know. And I'm excited. And so anyways, if I happen, it'll be hard for me to move out of Murphy's because I love Murphy's and I don't know if I can afford again unless I marry some rich dude. I guess I can make my own money. That doesn't sound very independent of me, but it's expensive to live up there.
Let me tell you this. If you got, so knowing what this guy does, if you guys ever ended up being like a long-term thing, you wouldn't even have to Airbnb your thing. It could just be a mountain house. It could just be something where you guys could literally have 2 homes with the mortgage you have and what he does. Like that is an incredible spot to be in.
Totally. And he only lives 15 miles away from me.
What a great spot to be in.
15 to 20 miles away from me. So it actually, I like it because then they're not too close. You could just.
Right. No, you're set up really well there. You are set up really, really well there.
Thank you. So anyways, I'll give him a chance if he quits being all Merida princessy at me.
Just tell him that. Does he watch the streams?
No, he doesn't watch the streams. He watches my Wind Down Wednesday, which we're doing tonight. Sarah, Jamie, and I are doing a Wind Down Wednesday night. Catch us on my live stream tonight for Wind Down Wednesday. We're going to talk about holidays and splitting up the holidays with the new spouse and the ex-spouse and all that good stuff. So he watches. I think he watches the Wind Down Wednesday, but his kids. They've all listened to the show. They're from here, you know. So he knows about me.
Okay.
You
know, do it again.
That's because on my Tinder profile it just says media, but it says Madden because I used to have Natalie up there, but then they'd ask and I still have to end up telling them anyway. So I might as well just be upfront about it. Yeah.
My neighbors, I have 2 neighbors. No, I'm sorry, 3 neighbors that like I've introduced myself, right? And they're older. Like you wouldn't. They're old enough to the point that you wouldn't think that like they're K-hop people. But my 2 neighbors, both in their 50s and 60s, call me Riley. And I don't introduce myself as, hi, I'm your next door new neighbor, Ian Riley, you know?
Yeah, but
so I never correct them.
No, and they think that's your name. Like when I've told people my name's Natalie, they're like, whoa, wait, what? Like they have no, I'm like, I've never told you. And I have long time who call me Madden too. It doesn't bother me.
What happened was all you moms out there about 15, 20 years ago were like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to name my baby girl Riley because that's like a super cute girl name. And so now when I first started this job, I felt like I was in gym class because everyone was like, hey, Riley. And now I feel like everyone's like, hey, Riley. And I'm like, who's calling their daughter or me? I don't know. You know?
Yeah. And the other thing, like if they're new to the show, they assume you're Madden and I'm Riley.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it was, I mean, not to drop names here, but I think when George Lopez called into the show, that was also the case. Was like,
Yeah.
oh, hi, Riley, is Madden there? I'm like, no, I'm Riley, or I'm Madden, or no, she's
Yeah.
Madden, I'm Riley. Yeah.
Yeah. We get that a lot from interviews.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. I'll give him another chance. I mean, if he can handle me going to my ex-husband's for a week.
Because I know what this dude does. I know that at least some parts of his life have to be kind of put together. You know, like when you first started this whole dating adventure and you were dating dudes that were skipping out on tabs and ripping. Like I didn't want those to be my forever partner's husband. Like my forever partner's partner needs to be somebody that can do things that I can't do around my house. So like, I need you to get an adult.
So you need me to date somebody that makes up for everything that you've had to do for me for the last 5 years because I haven't had a partner?
No, I'm talking about my house.
So now they need to come and help you fix things?
Yeah. Oh my God, what is so hard about this to understand?
Yes.
I'm getting frustrated. You need to get a boyfriend who can fish and do construction, because I like to fish and cannot do construction. And I have lots of projects that he needs to do.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Thank you.
All right, you guys. Tonight, my Wind Down Wednesday is tonight. And then tomorrow morning, we will see you on the live stream at 7:30. Bye.
Bye, guys.